As you read the title, capitalism is an economic system that would imply boring economics, as this video will seem about, but I'll just touch the basics and its rationality so everybody can understand it. So it's mostly from a cultural lens, which majority of people are focused on, because surprise, economics affects culture. And there is a very short thing you need to keep in mind after going after the juicy stuff. Let's talk about the definition of capitalism, which is private ownership of the means of production, as it's the most common and just the correct one. It's basically private individuals, aka everyone can participate in it. Its premise is based off markets, which are people responding to demand. And that's literally it. Capitalism and economy is controlled by consumer demands. And it's based off human nature, because it's run by humans, duh. So it really ends up as a neutral tool. As of today, there is also modern capitalism, which is more complicated. Its founder is mainly by John Maynard Keynes. A small fact about founder of modern capitalism, his plan for the future was literally, in the long run, we are all dead, as this show it's not made for human consumption. It's very future-oriented and growth-minded thing to say, no wonder where traditional values have gone. Its definition is current system, and it's not entirely based on private ownership nor markets, so it's called mixed market system. Basically all of the critiques of capitalism is based off modern version of capitalism, not about its original form as it meant to be. Only disclaimer would be that if you use modern capitalism on this video, then I will be fiercely against capitalism. Of course, there is the most leftist critique of inequality, but congratulations, real equality has never been tried and there never will be. There is also a wholesome Lee-based third way like despotism, which is basically not modern capitalism. Fascism, which is very unironically economically our current mixed market system. I know people who have read some theory about it will roll their eyes out. And the general third way, which is social democracy. Do I really have to say anything to this? Now, the boring economic gap is over, let's get to the fun part. So, let's go over the concerns and stuff which the capitalism has allegedly caused, and should the right replace it with alternatives. Capitalism is when mass immigration. You know, it's profitable to import workforce and undercut the local one, as the new ones work for any pennies. From a simple perspective, it's true, but there is unironically no incentive to do this nor any profit to be found from importing random people. Importing people are costly, so businesses have to be very picky, unless tax money is involved. Then we suddenly can afford 10 bazillion immigrants from Somalia and 10 bazillion euros to welfare for the Somalis. So there is a big difference of quality of people you are going to get. Not to mention that for Somalis, the cost of security will go up for a general public. If police and security is paid by consumer, aka it's privatized and you pay with your own money. And if there are bazillion Somalis, then nobody is going to pay like 10k a month for cost of security. Or, God forbid, if you're in the United Kingdom, it's this bad. Even if entire state of Israel sends you all of its money. No, not the opposite in this case. Wouldn't even have enough to pay to keep all the grooming gangs and extremist gangs in check. So it's really more caused by modern capitalism. The farther we move away from it, the bigger incentive is to have a stable society and priority of local workers, as they are more wealthy than any third worlders can ever be. Capitalism promotes degeneracy. If you flood people with vices, then they get addicted, creating a loop for profit. And in overall, instant gratification activities are easier to sell for profit. And we can even see this in the real world, that this mindset and cultural degeneracy and progressivism has won under a capitalist system. So, I have an easy question. Which one would be more productive and profitable to have in a society? A crackhead or family man? Exactly. The only reason crackhead exists because healthcare and security are used to upkeep him, because of socialized costs, aka taxpayer or the public pay for it collectively to keep a bum. And this type of behavior is incentivized, and it's caused by modern capitalism / corporate system, because otherwise nobody will give money to a cracker to remain as one. It's only protected class under our current system. Also, we have to talk about the welfare again, and I made a concept called hidden degeneracy. But for my experience first, is that when I got welfare, I didn't care about the money and spend it sometimes on KFC, because this money doesn't matter after all. After I got a job and had harder money, I was less likely to go to a KFC because I fucking had to work for it. This shows time preference, like getting free money, because the free money incentivizes high time preference, aka instant gratification, and working for your own stuff makes you low time preference, aka delayed gratification or future growth-minded individual, as this mainly shows how economics are run and what impact towards culture has, as they both are intertwined. Basically, all free money from welfare and social programs have an effect of making society and culture more high time preferenced, aka instant gratification based. The same rule applies for any extortion and taxes. They both have the same effect, so I still have a question for you. Who will be more productive member of society? Let's say there are two guys, same job and life circumstances. The guy number 1 has to pay over 40% of income taxes, and the guy number 2 pays none. So, which one of them two guys will be more productive, consume less koislop and works harder? Or let's take the same scenario, but this time it's the inheritance tax, which the left really wants, and that tax is up to 100%. So again, which one of them thinks about the future, which one sees more value in money, and which one will want to have more / future children and to think more about children overall? It's very obviously the guy number 1, because who wants to get punished and then repeat the activity that got you punished? And if you push this to its logical conclusion, any taxes and any amount of it will have a negative effect, like short-termism. Economically, the tax and welfare combined is what I call hidden degeneracy, which some of the die-hard right-wing culture warriors miss for whatever reason, but this is for another video. And the other point of progressivism winning and erosion of family values and morality of itself, as it came about from the progressive era. As said, capitalism is a neutral system. Rise of progressivism to higher time preferences, as said before, accumulating together into this mess. There will be self-regulation under capitalism, not the modern version of it, as it's based off human nature and its starting condition. That the short-term thinkers will get worse results in life, but due to modern progressive policies and politics, gives these short-term thinkers freedom to do anything without consequences. And consequences are key word here, as if your life is a constructive, you get good consequences, but if it's self-destructive, you get bad consequences. And the bad ones, by definition, die out. If we don't stop this, we will have a dysgenic effect where productive people and civilized people will die out. It's the effect of decivilization. A good idea is to have something like a gated communities, where the community chooses who to take in. As people want similar people and good people around, like people who have a good family, values, good upbringing, morality, or even good connection to God, or overall a good and nice person to be around. Also remember, I said that capitalism is a neutral tool. Well, I lied to you, because people have incentives to keep the degenerates and bums out, or just let them to go and create their own community and compete with others, incentivizing them to unironically think long term or they can just perish. It's inherently anti-degeneracy tool, and smart asses will say that if you don't understand human nature and for this to work, you first need a homogeneous, high-trust society for this stuff in order to work. Of this smart asses quote human nature and completely reject the idea that similar people want to stick together, as this is the human nature. If we grant people freedom of association, which includes those gated communities, then this decreases multiculturalism that is plaguing us, as similar people stick together, which really only way to achieve high trust homogeneous society. Freedom of association implies also discrimination, and as currently discrimination to people or sexism is not a bad thing for the ruling elites as they claim to be against, they just, selectively enforce it. Like, you can have anti-white racism, but not the opposite. If you let minority of a country to have freedom of association and individuality, they start to replace the local population that which do not have these freedoms. So after all of this, if you ask me, there is a system that prioritizes future thinking that's based as fuck, then why people claim that it's bad? Main thing is its definition, as they call modern system capitalism, and people adapt definition of it. There is also a leftist brain rot poisoning the well for the world. Most popular examples are basically capitalism is when capital owners do stuff, or when corporations do stuff, which are the cause of modern problems. That ignores the crucial distinction from the left that corporations are extension of the government.